This one, I'm gonna just go off. So in this, if you guys don't know, Israel Adesanya he's who I emulate my game after. He's basically the leading factor of what got me into this. Obviously, I've been around watching since a while ago, but we have Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira, number 2/number 4. I know you don't want to say number 4 because different sports, but they've been in the ring or cage with each other on 3 occasions.
I'll let you do your thing, and then I'll get into that.
Oh man, where do we even begin? Israel Adesanya was on his way to being one of the greatest middleweights of all time. Anderson Silva still holds that crown for me, even as much of a fan as Israel I am. Anderson Silva is the middleweight GOAT. Israel had 5 or 6 defenses, I think. I forget. Then here comes Alex Pereira from a Glory double 2-division champion, makes his way to MMA just to kind of go at Adesanya. Gets a few wins along the way, and then Israel is not going to back down. So he basically called out Pereira after his win and was like, yeah, I want him next. And Israel was up 3-1, 3-1, 4-0, debatable in that first fight. And round 5, Alex Pereira goes out there and just, it was one of the, I think he said, I'm going to kill you or something before that 5th round. And it was like a cold moment in between. And he did. He basically put him out. TKO victory. I was heartbroken.
Out on his feet. Yeah, it was. It sucked to watch that, honestly. Especially after he was doing so well, right? Like Izzy was controlling that fight the entire time. Pereira was putting the pace on him and the pressure, but the way Izzy was handling it and doing his thing and then getting out of the way, like he was definitely racking up the scorecards. Like in my opinion, I thought he looked incredible. And then
I just watched it back yesterday, or was it? I think it was today. I don't even know. I've watched it a lot of times since it's been out. So it was a game of inches the whole time. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Like leading off your point of Israel was kind of controlling, even though Pereira was putting the pressure on. Israel was very close a lot of times to getting caught with that left hook rounds 1 through 4. So it was kind of like the whole time Pereira was getting that distance, and in round 5 he got the distance because there was times where that left hook was going right across the nose, glancing. So I mean, we'll break down this fight, but go ahead, and I cut you off.
No, you're good, Tyler. I know this is your guy, and this is a fight that makes you very excited, me very excited, the fans hopefully very excited. People haven't been like as excited as I thought they would be, and part of that is because I think it's like 3-0. Now, I'm gonna have to get into this. If you beat Michael Jordan in a game of golf, can you say that you beat Michael Jordan? and now, before everybody rolls their eyes,
I don't know where you're going with this, so I want to see where you're going with this.
I understand it's a stretch, right? But it's a different sport. The rules are not the same. You could say, well, golf, you're trying to get the ball in the hole. It's like, yeah, well, you're doing that in basketball too, and I beat Michael Jordan in golf, so I must have beat him in basketball. It's not how it works. If you beat a guy in a jiu-jitsu match, does that mean you're going to beat him in a wrestling match? No. If you beat a guy in a wrestling match, does that mean you're going to beat him in a sambo match? No. It's not the same sport. The rule sets are completely different. Even something as similar, if you could be a 50-0 kickboxer and then get in a Muay Thai fight and get cut to shreds because you weren't used to the elbows and the range and the clinch. Different rule sets are there for a reason. Mixed martial arts is not glory kickboxing, right? Now, are they similar? Yes. Are they both kickboxers? Yes. I understand all that. My point to all of this is I still believe 0-3, whatever you want, I believe Israel Adesanya is the superior fighter. I will lean on that all day long, and I'll back it up. I mean, I think his grappling is better. I think his kickboxing is better. To put it in the words of Sean Strickland, he's a big effing scary Brazilian. And that's what he is. He's a great kickboxer, but he's also should be fighting at heavyweight.
He could be a heavyweight.
The guy kills himself to make 185. It's almost like so weird that he's like chased Israel around his entire career. It's like, dude, and I would just love to see Izzy get that win, man. I would love it. I would love it so much. And then they'd probably do a third MMA fight. And if Izzy wins one, I don't know how Alex's head is going to adjust to that. Because right now he's got that boogeyman thing. I'm going to kill you. My kid made fun of you when I knocked you out. Like all this stuff. Let's see how you act if Izzy gets one. Because Izzy's strong, man. Mentally, that guy's strong. And it's going to be hard to make him scared of you. Izzy knows, and his coaches know, that's 3 fights. We were basically whooping his ass. And then we got caught, right? So it's like, okay, the guy's gigantic. And if he hits you, it's going to be a problem. But that's what it is. It's like you can't let him get that shot. I think Izzy comes out, does his thing on the feet. I think Izzy comes out and wrestles a lot more in this fight.
Israel Nurmagomedov coming out at 287.
I think he wrestles his butt off, and he could imagine if Izzy got Mount with a couple minutes left. It's wrap.
Over.
It's a wrap. He's gonna beat him up. Like, granted, did you see the thing? Pereira, after he fought Izzy, like got awarded his brown belt.
Oh yeah, oh my god!
And for those of you that don't know, Izzy's a purple belt, and a legitimate purple belt. Andre Galvao gave him the purple belt.
Andre Galvao purple belt.
Not just that, but like there's footage of him wearing a gi and training Brazilian jiu-jitsu the right way. So it's like he got his purple belt. Respect, dude. Hats off. He goes out and beats Izzy. Pereira goes out and beats Izzy, and then they're like, "We gave him a brown belt," and it's like you just felt like you had to one up. Like it's like I never
he got dominated on the ground.
Dude, it's like,
man, I could go off on this.
I know it's just the whole thing puts a bad taste in my mouth because Izzy's one of the most exciting, one of the best fighters we've ever seen, and
one of the biggest draws.
Everything that you want in a champion is Izzy. He calls his shot. If you go back and look at all his post-fight speeches in cage, he calls out who he wants next and gets it. He's gone through the whole division, some of the guys twice. So you got this guy, Alex Pereira. The whole story was, he beat him in kickboxing. So he's got, 4 fights? They put him in the UFC, give him a title shot. It's like, who's this guy? Like, okay, I get it for the hardcore people that know he's a kickboxer, he's a 2-weight division champion, all that stuff. Yeah, that's great. Why is he getting the special treatment? Because he's tailor-made to beat your best guy?
Okay.
The whole thing puts a bad taste in my mouth. It's like the UFC, like, just set up your own guy, you know?
Yeah.
I think as long as Izzy can get through his head, like, don't try to just kickbox this guy, make it a mixed martial arts fight, I think Izzy wins this all day long, makes it probably look easy.
Yeah. I don't think Alex can get to that grappling level. Obviously, he's going to be the worst grappler. We saw it, and he's had I don't know how to say his first name, Jalton Almeida, the UFC heavyweight right now.
Jalton?
Jalton. One of the best grapplers right now that we have in the UFC, but you can't teach that grappling that quick.
And you see them stand next to each other?
Alex Pereira is bigger.
They're the same size.
Alex Pereira is taller. Jalton's bigger.
Yeah.
But Alex is big.
It's unbelievable.
I mean,
when you see him hugging Pereira, when you see him hugging, like, even Glover Teixeira, you're talking about the light heavyweight former champion who's also out of camp. So he's
Big.
he's not 205. He's 230 probably. And Alex is like way bigger than Glover.
Like,
all the poking fun at Izzy stuff. I understand selling fights. It's all mental stuff, man. Like, and I can appreciate that angle to an extent. It's just, it's like I take it personally
but Izzy doesn't. He really doesn't. I don't think he does.
I hope he doesn't.
He's too locked in up here.
I hope so, man. And I hope he can get this win back because he deserves it, man. He deserves the respect. Like, it's so weird to me when these champions get taken. Like, he like made the whole division look like a walk in the park.
He has beaten Robert Whittaker not once, but 2 times. Robert Whittaker beat Yoel Romero 2 times. He's gone 50 minutes with Yoel Romero.
Izzy beat Yoel.
Yeah, well, we won't talk about that fight, but yeah, he's beating Romero. He beat
him. Yeah, he beat him, and he didn't have to fight him. Yoel was coming off a loss. He said, "You know what? Give me that big scary guy.
Give me the big scary Brazilian.
Give me that big Cuban.
I'm sorry.
Give me that big bald scary Cuban that went to the Olympics."
But yeah,
and it's a terrible matchup for me. He beat Vettori twice. He beat Brunson. Like, he beat Gastelum in one of the most fun interim championships, that was ever witnessed. I mean, he's been doing his thing, man. And, like, you got to respect everything he's done for the sport. I don't like how they rushed, Alex the way up just because there was, like, a story attached to it. I understand your champion had nothing left for him. He went up and fought Jan. Jan beat him with the size and the grappling. Whatever, man. I don't take that away from anything. Like, I think Izzy's the better fighter than Pereira. That's what I'm going to come out of here.
I agree.
I'm voting. My vote is going with Izzy. I think he's going to change the game plan. I think he's got some of the best coaches in the world. I think he's going to be more focused and driven now than he has been in his career for a long time.
Contender Izzy is a different breed than champion Izzy.
He doesn't have the belt anymore. It's one thing when no one can touch you. He's got a little bit of a chip now, and and now it's this guy. It's not just anybody. It's this guy that's making fun of you, that's posting stuff about you, that has wins over you. It's like Izzy's another one. We were talking about Cowboy last week having like 100 fights. Izzy's had over 100 professional fighting.
Dude.
Different sports.
I forget what his record is in combat sports, but it's 100 and something and less than 15
or something. Yeah, it's absurd.
I think he's single digits. I think he's single digit losses in over 100 fights.
Yeah, it's amazing what this guy's done for martial arts, and he really is the new wave Anderson Silva. He beat Anderson Silva. Granted, Anderson was a little bit older.
You know who was in Anderson Silva's corner that fight?
Who?
Alex Pereira.
Really?
Alex Pereira was in Anderson Silva's corner during that fight.
I had no idea.
There's a picture of it. Yep.
They brought that guy in. See what I'm saying? This goes deep, man. I take this more personally than Izzy does. It's crazy to me.
It's real. Like, breaking down this fight. I mean, three meetings with each other. Israel has won, not arguably, he has been winning more than he's been losing against this guy, and he has an 0-3 record against him. That first kickboxing fight, as unbiasedly as I can possibly be, I think Izzy won that fight.
Izzy won the fight. The fans everybody thought Izzy won that fight.
Whatever. He didn't get the nod. It was a close fight. A lot of people gave it to Izzy. So, first fight done. Second fight, he was not arguably. He was winning that fight very convincingly. And he got caught with that patented left hook of Alex Pereira. Such is life. He's racked up so much winning time against Alex Pereira. Goes to MMA, wins 3-1, 4-0, however you want to score it. Gets caught by the left hook, and that's the story.
So frustrating.
I think we see as we mentioned, we're going to see an Israel Adesanya who doesn't have a belt, who has lost to this guy 3 times. He's in his nightmares. He's the boogeyman. We have a grappling Israel Adesanya coming to UFC 287, and I see an Israel Adesanya submission.
Submission?
I see a submission
Whoa.
from Israel Adesanya. I watched that second fight back. Alex Pereira didn't have a clue what was going on down there. He was just using his size to stand up with his size. He didn't have a clue. He wasn't fighting the hands on the Dagestani handcuff, inside wrist tie, whatever you want to call it. He wasn't doing anything. I think this time Israel sees that, gets his back. Good night. See ya.
Or a TKO. I could see a TKO coming because he's, Izzy's got good, clean power. He
Especially
doesn't
after
look
that
like
first round.
Yeah, he doesn't look like the most powerful guy, but that guy can put your lights out with one shot. Like, there's no question about it. He's got that snap on the end of all his punches and his kicks. Like, that guy's like, what was that Street Fighter character where he'd be like, and his arm would get really, really long and hit you? You're too young.
I've seen. I'm too young, but I've seen it. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name.
His arms and his legs would go all the way across the screen and be like, like it's almost like he's got a whip on the end of his punches and his kicks. So Izzy's got that pop for sure. I hope he comes out, bam, 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 hits him with the 1-2, hits some cool dance moves, takes him down, beats him up. Like, I hope he just master class. Like, let's show everything. Let's show why the kickboxing and MMA is different. Come on, Izzy, represent, bro. Like, this is his chance, and I want so badly for him to win. Like, for everyone that disrespected him, for Alex that disrespected him. Like, I hope it's bloody. I don't want like a clean kickboxing match. I want a dirty MMA fight.
Oh, that's my jam right there.
That's what I'm hoping for. I know,
going
but
back,
we've seen it now. Now we got to make it dirty.
Going back to styles, that's my style right there. Is Israel Adesanya, the clean kickboxing. I'm a setups guy. I'm not really. I don't know. I'm not a combinations guy. I'm more of a set you up and take your head off, like a Leon Edwards setting up that head kick for 5 rounds and then blasting a head kick. That's my style, and we have different styles, but I just had to mention that.
Of course.
I lost my other train of thought. I was going to say something else. I lost it.
It's all right. I just I hope Izzy can pull this one off. I believe in him. I do. I think he's the better fighter. I've said it. I'll say it again. Like, I think Izzy's the better fighter. I think Pereira needs to. This is the other thing, right? We'll just talk about this for a second until your thought comes back into your head.
I got it back. But go ahead. Finish your thought. I got it.
The UFC doing Izzy dirty like this and bringing in basically his Achilles heel is maybe the dumbest thing they've ever done. Let me explain why. First of all, he's your biggest draw. So you just like killed your biggest draw, right? Good for you, dummy, right? Then, okay, but then look at the rest of the division. They're going to mop this fucking guy.
And they all maul him.
All of them. Every one of them. He can't do what Izzy did to them. He can't. They're all going to get their hands on him. They're all going to powerbomb him through the floor. Pereira needs to like take this loss that he's about to get, move up in weight, and go have your own career that's not attached to Israel Adesanya. Like, that's why the whole thing is so weird to me. It's like,
speaking of, go get the retaliation on Jamal Hill. That I would love that fight.
Or Yuri.
Either one. I would love those fights.
All the fun fights for him are at 205, man. At 185, he gets absolutely mopped. That's it. Yeah. And then it's like,
I think he's. Oh, sorry.
No, that's it. It's like that the UFC just killed off one of their best champions to let him get absolutely mopped by the rest of the division.
And
It's
then
like
Israel just wins his next one and goes and gets the belt back.
yeah, it's like, did we have to do that? It's like, let's get this guy, let's make sure he doesn't kill himself to make 185 anymore. Get him up to 205. Let him go avenge his friend and coach and have a great career. Good for you. Like, I actually think he's a great fighter. I think he'll be fun to watch at 205. As of right now, he doesn't have the grappling to mess with any of the top guys at 185. And I'm just like kind of over it. I'm over hearing about him and Izzy and like the disrespect that Izzy's getting. It's weird, man. I hope Izzy knocks his block off.
I do love, I mean, as much as we're, talking down on Alex Pereira, I love his kickboxing. I've seen some, like, I've been watching the fights. I've seen some of his setups, as I just mentioned, his setups and like what he does to set up his power punches. I put them in my own game and they work. I won't even like give the setups because I'm, gonna keep them in the back pocket.
Secrets.
But they work. I promise they work. So I love his kickboxing, but I just don't like the whole storyline. And I think he'll probably end up moving up. Maybe regardless of it, what happens next weekend, because I don't think he makes 185 much longer.
No. If he wins, it'll probably be like he'll attempt the champ thing, and the UFC will probably let him do it. Even though he's only fought in the company 3 times. If he loses, they'll probably do the trilogy.
I don't. They probably will, but I just don't know if he'll do it. He might just go up.
He should. I mean, what's really left to prove? Like, you got the wins in the kickboxing. You got the first TKO. Good for you, man. Like, just go on with your career. It's like, I'm okay with that. I like that. That's why I think people aren't as excited about this rematch as they maybe could be or should be. Like, yes, it's a great matchup. It's definitely an exciting fight. But the whole thing, everyone's like, oh, well, 0-3. Why are we doing it again? It's like, well, I'm here to tell you it's a different sport. But, it's actually like not even really close to the same sport at all. It's really not. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
If you get rocked and drop to your knee in kickboxing, you get a standing 10 count. Standing 8, standing 10, whatever it is. That doesn't happen in the cage. You know what I mean?
You got sick by the bell in the first round.
You did. Imagine if Izzy had a couple more seconds to work in that first round of the last fight.
If he had a few more seconds.
Finished, bro. He was all wobbly on skates. Like, let's go.
He was jello.
Yeah, so I hope Izzy pulls this one off, and then we can just like be done with this conversation.
Yeah. The last point I had was just like the fight itself. Israel said in the first round, like one of the first few kicks that were landed, he got hit on that peroneal nerve on your leg. So I don't like that. Definitely affects your mobility. So I don't know how much that played into his 5th round, like not being able to defend or move as well, but that could play a difference if he doesn't get kicked there this time. Just, thoughts that I had that I wanted to mention.
I'm sure he's going to eat a couple leg kicks. It's like,
yes, but that one's more like placement. That one's not just like calf kicking your leg off until you can't walk. That one's just all it takes is one. So if he doesn't get kicked there this time, maybe his movement's better. I don't know. Just a question. Just little things.
I think just mixing in the wrestling alone, even faking shots alone will change this whole thing. Because Pereira doesn't have the experience. You don't even have to wrestle. You just have to pretend like you're going to wrestle a few times. And
you got to shoot once, I think. I'm going to do this, and then start fainting, and then he's going to be all sorts of whack.
Throws his timing off, throws his distance off. Now everything is up in the air, and that's when Izzy hits you with that whip, So we'll see.
Izzy's a master of feints, so let's just get some wrestling feints in there, and then let's throw his head off and let's kick his head off.
I hope he comes out in his gi.
Like George St. Pierre?
Yeah. I hope he comes out in his gi. But I guess we'll see,
That
man.
would
What a card. What an event this is going to be.